Hello, everybody. It is May 15th. This is episode 135 of Three Things at the End. On today's episode, NFL schedule, the Hadron Collider, and what's in a name. Let's dive in. All right, so I've kind of teased this a little bit. 2025 NFL schedule was released in full in totality, almost, asterisk, today. Everything starts off with a huge matchup. September 4th, NBC, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. Mixed in the 260-plus matchups, I want to highlight a few notable playoff rematches. Ravens and Bills, Week 1, jumping in early. Eagles at Chiefs, Week 2. Rams at Eagles, Week 3. And then the one I want to highlight, underline, whatever else punctuation points I can give it, Lions at Commanders, Week 10. I would love to see the Lions get some revenge. Love that. The NFL will play 7 international games this year. That's right, 7. Count them. 3 in London, 1 in Dublin, 1 in Madrid, 1 in Berlin, and 1 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Christmas Day, which falls on a Thursday this year. I did not know that. Will feature, unfortunately, for the players, unfortunately. For us fans, I guess it's nice. A triple header of streamers, including 2 on Netflix. Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Vikings, and Kansas City, Denver. So, what does that mean? That does mean that my Detroit Lions play the two major holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Unfortunately, that's going to be a lot for them. I wish them the best. Here's an interesting thing. The 32 NFL teams will travel a total of 625,945 miles this season, averaging close to 20,000 miles per team and about 2,301 per trip. That must be out and back. 6 NFL teams will travel more miles than it takes to go around the world. Wow, travel is a big, big deal. The leading team that has to travel the most is the Chargers, traveling 37,000 miles. They're interestingly traveling 2,234 miles than their in-town partner, the Los Angeles Rams. So, obviously, Chargers going to Brazil to host the Chiefs. That does add quite a bit of miles to the trip. So anyway, those are just... Oh, my last thing is the Kansas City Chiefs lead the NFL once again with 7 primetime games this season. They are the popcorn bucket. They are the ultimate viewer rating extravaganza, apparently. So those are just some interesting standouts from the season. We'll talk more about NFL, but those are just some things that popped out. Dublin should be interesting, by the way. I forgot to mention that the Vikings, they're doing back-to-back trips. They're doing Dublin and then London. I guess once you're in the UK, it makes sense to just keep on showing up, right? All right, the next story, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, at CERN in Switzerland, right? This is a massive scientific dream case scenario project. This is a massive series of tunnels where they can do some amazing things. They can shoot ions at nearly the speed of light, and they can collide them and crash them and do all kinds of incredible things. They've achieved Full Metal Alchemist. They have achieved the alchemist dream of turning lead into gold. But there's multiple asterisks behind this. By smashing lead ions together at nearly the speed of light, researchers have found that the interaction creates a powerful electromagnetic field that actually strips 3 protons from a lead nucleus, rendering it into a gold nucleus. So this is fascinating. The resulting nucleus had 79 protons, and that became a gold nucleus. Now, it didn't last long, right? It's milliseconds. As quickly as they're smashed into the walls, as soon as they touch each other, they quickly pivot and just skyrocket, gyrate into the walls or disintegrate almost instantaneously due to their high energy. So this is interesting. Like I said, the Large Hadron Collider, this is kind of one of those like science things you hear about, you read on, as a kid, you heard about it in school, you read about it in books and Time Magazine and Time for Kids, and it's kind of one of these like scientists dream of being able to do experiments here because they can do things that they cannot do in reality, just on paper previously. So this is really cool. Obviously, the modern day alchemy tagline is probably more important than the actual story when it comes down to it. But Science is important, guys, and I was glad to see the Large Hadron Collider make it onto the top of CNN, my CNN news, at least. So I guess before I leave it, scientists use the collider to really study the fundamental building blocks of matter and atoms and how our universe was formed and how it's structured on the smaller scales. So that's kind of the big picture that I kind of neglected. And its claim to fame is that it can accelerate particles at nearly the speed of light, which is devastatingly fast. My last topic. What's in a name? So HBO Max. And then Max. Well, no, HBO Now to HBO Max to Max. Get this, guys. They're literally, I'm sure they're spending millions of dollars on this. They're literally reverting back to its previous name, HBO Max. This is almost as silly as ESPN. Under bated breath, they really held out the suspense on this one. Their streaming service, which will be like $40 and include all the ESPNs, ESPN 1 through 8, it will be called ESPN. I kid you not. This is literally where we're at now. We're making chief marketing officers it's just getting ridiculous, guys. So like I said, HBO Max's name changed to just Max in 2023, shortly after the Warner Media and Discovery merged, creating WBD. It was previously HBO Now. At one point in time, it was just HBO, home box office. But now, apparently, it is back to just being HBO Max. So, anyway, that was a quick little hit today. It's been a long day. I loved having you aboard with this on this wild ride. Do yourself a favor. If you do one thing after this, research the Large Hadron Collider. It is a fascinating thing built into the mountains of Switzerland. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Take care, guys. Good night.